Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Underground Church Book Review. I'm David Carrico, and I'm very thankful for all of you that are joining us for this segment. We've had several listeners that have requested a list of the books that we have in our library, and they're changing so rapidly that's very difficult to do. But what we are going to do, we're going to begin having some book reviews where we're going to be giving reviews on many of the interesting and rare volumes that we have here in our library at FOJC. And we're going to start today by doing a book review on a very, very interesting book called Baron von Trump's Marvellous Underground Journey. This was written by a gentleman by the name of Ingersoll Lockwood, and there are actually 5 books. I'm reading here from the complete collection that has all 5 of Mr. Lockwood's Baron von Trump books in it. They were written between 1889 and 1900. And what makes these so very, very interesting is the amazing things that are said and the similarities between the character in Mr. Lockwood's novels and our current, the 45th president and the gentleman now that's running for president, Mr. Donald Trump. So we're going to begin, and I'm going to talk on this review. I'm going to talk about the first 2 of these 5 books. The first book is The Travels and Adventures of Little Baron Trump and His Wonderful Dog Bulger. And the second book is Baron von Trump's Marvellous Underground Journey. And what makes this so compelling is all of the similarities between this character in this novel written in the 1800s and Donald Trump. It's really uncanny. And Baron von Trump was always bragging about his big brain. And he always had an insult ready for anyone that wouldn't agree with him. And his adventures begin in Russia. So we have a Russia connection. Yes, we do. And as we all know, Donald Trump's son is named Barron. And to top that off, in the 1980s, Donald Trump would use the pseudonym John Barron. Now, why did he do this? What's going on here? Do we have time travel going on? And what I kind of believe, now this is what I believe, is that we have devils that are trying to recreate a scenario. And as we go in, we're going to do another book review on his book, The Last President. And as you see, this winds up in the destruction of America. So we're going to be getting into that in our next book review. But I just want to go over some of the things here in this book that are so extremely compelling. And as I said here, and I'll read here from page 202 on the complete collection, and it is how much of a coincidence is that the central character here is so much like Mr. Trump. And also there is a woman character in it named Eulania, not Melania, but I think it's Juliana. So there's just so much. And it says here on page 202, it says William Heinrich Sebastian von Trump, commonly called Little Baron Trump, that though short of stature and frail of limb, yet what there is of me is of iron. There, Juliana, there's gold for thee. Now lead the way to the giant's well. Now, Little Baron von Trump goes on a descent into the underworld, and he descends into the giant's well. Yes, that's right. We have a journey to the underworld, and we have giants. And it speaks of the giant's well and of little Baron von Trump descending into the giant's well. And guess what's at the bottom of the giant's well? Yes, we've got ant people. And it talks about the ant people that are down there in the Giant's Well. We have all kinds of strange people, the transparent people, the little folk, and all kinds of bizarre things that Baron von Trump encounters on his journey to the underworld down through the Giant's Well. Now, another really compelling thing here from the first book, it says here on page 137, it says, in the streets of Constantinople, I fall in with an Armenian merchant who presents me with a manuscript 6,000 years old. And here he comes into possession of a rare manuscript. Well, as we've talked about on other broadcasts, Donald Trump's uncle, Fred Trump, came into some very valuable manuscripts that belonged to Nikola Tesla. And it goes on and on and on. This isn't a really well-written book, but the only thing that's compelling about it are these similarities that just keep reoccurring. And I'm just touching on some of the highlights here. It really begins to be extremely compelling, and you begin to ask yourself, how many coincidences can we have, and what is really going on here? And what I believe is that we have spirits that are really trying to recreate this timeline. And the things in this book, I believe that devils are trying to recreate in our timeline right now. And we're just going to have to see how this plays out, because in our next book review on the last president, there are some really, really profound things that we're going to be wanting to look at, and that we're going to have that up, Lord willing, before the election. Now, one more thing here on page 96, and I'll read here a little bit, and it's all through here, but Baron von Trump lived in the Trump Castle, and here we have Donald Trump living in Trump Tower, and Baron von Trump lives in Trump Castle. So these things just go on and on and on. And in our next book review, we're going to be talking about the last president, and we're going to see what vision that these spirits had for the destruction of America and what will be put in place of our current United States of America. It's absolutely overwhelming. So don't miss it. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being with us on our Underground Church book review. God bless y'all.